going on, everybody? Everybody doing? Sorry about getting on here a little later than normal. Seems like when Transportation Tuesday, getting back up, things just kind of start going, and it seems like things start happening. Sometimes you have your issues with just trying to get everything off the ground, but I'm not going to let that deter me today. So yeah, what's going on, everybody? Okay. Yeah. So we're going to get started. Sorry about that. Probably go a little minute over. Go about 12 minutes over what we're going to do. So we'll go through that. Beautiful wife in here so we can finish talking about what we talked about last week. So, yeah. All right, what's up, man?
Hey.
Man, I tell you, it just seems like every time, like, hold on a second. Headset connected. Hold on a second. It just seemed like it just becomes my Tuesday today was just it was all over the place today. And when Transportation Tuesday gets like this, I just be like, oh my God, So what up, Trina? Uh, so yeah, so the day was different. I mean, doing the I was doing the ride along today, and
Mm-hmm.
me and Perry, and it was like, yo, we're going good, going real good, and like, okay, so we'd be done by 2 o'clock, and when 2 o'clock hit, had an issue with a chastity, uh, and so we was like, oh God, so I knew right then and there. I was like, man, it's Tuesday. So, but anyway, everybody, thank you for being on here with us. Just, uh, we'll probably go about, a couple minutes over. But anyway, I apologize once again. But when you got a word or advice, um, things always will transpire, and it transpires sometimes, and it's not always, how can I say it? It goes in your favor. Let me just say that. Sometimes it's, what I'm saying. So,
Mm-hmm.
but anyway, so guys, then also too, the printer was my phone won't link to the printer, so I can deal with my little notes and stuff. But I pretty much got them off the top of the head. But the thing about the tariff tax and how it's affecting transportation. Last week I talked about how how it was dealing with the NAFTA Trade Act versus the the other act as far as UMSC.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, um, I'm sorry. And so what happened is that when last week when I was talking about the tariff tax, it was just more or less about how it affects overall transportation. But I wanted to kind of go into details of how it affects um, just certain things as far as like you have a lot of box trucks and sprinters and things like that. Their parts come from outside of the country.
Right.
And so when those parts come outside of the country, those parts are, like I said last week when I was talking about the bulbs and things like that. But also too semis are they're put together and outside of this country too. And they have their parts. So it's like the thing about it is that, and then also too where it starts affecting you also is when you're dealing with uh, customers cutting back, and they're cutting back because of now labor cost. I mean, now parts and supplies are much more expensive. You know what I'm saying? So there's a few things and those things right there, those are direct effect of that's a direct effect of a
Tariff.
tariff.
Yeah.
Mhm. So yeah, I sent you some notes. So what you think? Well, because I think one of them was was about the the box trucks and the sprinters because I had saw that they 'cause like I said they some of them are I mean some of those parts are shipped in and then also too it affects when it comes to uh, just transportation as far as overall because even with this even when they hurts the truck it's like I said they'll take the rail boxes now. I give you a perfect example. Um, inside of the rail system um, when they put a rail box on a train, which is a container,
Mhm.
and they ship it on a train down to the ports.
Mhm.
That right there takes money out of a semi moving that, and so so things like cutbacks on using it instead of using the semi they're using they might use the train. Well, that cuts because now all your runs are kind of like local. So it's like okay, so instead if it's cheaper for me to just put it on a train to get it to let's say Florida,
Mhm.
um, then I'll do that or Savannah versus me sending a truck down, which would be more money if the truck, and that's more money for trucks and stuff, truck drivers. But when they don't have those kind of runs, they're getting more smaller runs, which means they have to work extra hard trying to get another load. But when you're in and out of the rail yard, as far as pulling containers, you can spend 2 hours in there just trying to get, I'm sorry, an hour. Let me take that back. An hour in there, and then an hour to get to the customer. You 30 minutes to get unloaded, and an hour to get back. That's 4 hours pretty much of your day.
And the rate doesn't match up.
Yeah, but it doesn't. I mean, it doesn't because what happens is, no, what I'm saying that's a local run, and you don't make as much versus if you
Right.
have versus if you have a run that gets you more miles to like a Savannah, you
Yes.
know, or
Yeah.
to a Florida. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You get more money that way
Yeah.
versus everything's local. And when it's local, which is not a bad thing to be local, it just doesn't. It just requires you now to have to um, try to get more runs if you're doing, hauling containers and things. You try to get a second one, but it's just that hard to get it out of the rail system. I mean, I was in there today, and we started at 9 o'clock.
Mhm.
Okay, we got to our customer right. I'm sorry, we started at 8:30. Yeah,
Mhm.
8:30. We got our customer at 9 o'clock,
Mhm.
and we were there on time. They put us in the door about 9:30. Okay, so they put us in the door at 9:30. Um, we got unloaded, probably 30 minutes to get unloaded. Okay, so then you have to take the rail box to a container yard and attach the box from there off the chassis, and then you take the chassis to the rail yard. See what I'm saying? So it's like so now that all that together, that was like almost 1 o'clock. Okay, so
That's on the rail yard. So it was 1 o'clock before when you left the rail yard.
no, that was headed to the rail yard. We got to the rail yard at 1 o'clock.
Oh.
Well, we had to split the chassis at and leave because we had to give the box to the
Oh.
depot
Okay.
because you
Okay.
know what I'm
Okay.
saying.
I
And you
follow you now.
separate the
Oh,
two,
okay.
and so now you take the box, then
Mhm.
you take the chassis because you take it you're going to the rail yard to
Mhm.
pick up a box,
Right.
another box to go on the
Mhm.
chassis, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but you get to the rail, you get to the rail yard, and all of a sudden the chassis is not right because of miscommunication and paperwork.
Mm.
So now we have to leave the rail yard, which it took us to get in there and then get out. We had to go get another chassis so we can come get the box out of the rail yard. So you had to come back. See, so when you do that much local stuff and 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 just in the container industry versus someone that just get a box and happen to go to Savannah or go far out, they're
Yeah.
gonna make more money, have less hassle of trying
Yeah.
to. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But when you put it on a train because of
You don't
tariffs,
have to worry about
because
nothing.
when you put it on a train, you cut out that money.
Yeah.
Those type of runs they become far and few. So it's so that and so you know um,
When did trains become an option? Or has
it's
it
always
or,
been an
or
option.
they've always been an option, but it's more of an option now?
Yeah, because it's cheaper, and especially when you got the cost now. It's like the material that like these customers they want to find cost somewhere, and if it's cheaper, especially with the tariff tax, like if they're buying the goods and they're buying them and they want to ship them or they're retaining them in bulk, you know. So the way they cut a little bit, they put it on a train, and that makes it cheaper because now you ship it. You got a train that might have um, I don't know, let's say 20 rail boxes, 12 cars, 12, you know, you know, yeah, rail boxes. And on those rail boxes, um, you have the train can carry one one rail car can probably carry maybe six. You see what I'm saying? So you might have 180. You know, if my math does me well, if it's like what 20 on there, and then each one of them can carry six, that's 120 containers. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
He's muted. That's why I can't hear you.
No, I have muted it because
Sorry.
my
I'm
dog.
muted,
No, you're not. You're fine. I can hear you.
but I can't hear you though. Hold
Yes,
on.
you can. I'm right here.
Let's see.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what that was about. Like I said, hey man, I apologize everybody. Transportation Tuesday. I'm trying to get the word out. I'm just talking about, just telling you that, and then like I said too, because if they gave it to a tractor to
Mhm.
move on, then it erased the cost. So now they got to pass it off to the consumers. So that's why when you see, see, I didn't realize this too. I read an article about the tariff tax. Did you know that? And this is like I said, this is where I'm saying that things can with transportation because they be shipped from overseas because everything come in on those containers.
Right.
Did you know almost half of the medicine that we get, like let's say like generic medicine,
Yeah. Where it come
like
from?
it come from India.
India?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
wouldn't have thought that.
yeah. I didn't know it until I read an article about it because they said what happened is the tariff tax, the India, I think prime minister or the what you call it, the ambassador to India. I think it was him or anyway, it was a they came to visit the administration and to talk about the tariff tax and see how they can kind of keep them out of it,
Yeah.
but
Avoid
they're
having
gonna
to pay it.
yeah, exactly. So
Hmm.
um so anyway, yeah, and they said that that it's going to be a it's going it'll start raising the price of generic medicine. And
Tell everybody.
I
Tell
think it was on the
everybody
heat.
where
I
you
think it
go
was
to get your updates, your
a lot
newsletter.
of my information. I'll go to like freight wave
Hmm.
is one source I use. Also too I'll use the Hill um and
You got any new news platforms that you use as opposed to the old ones you used to
I
go to?
Most of my platform, I use the BBC.
That's what I. Yeah.
Yeah, I use the
Mm-hmm.
BBC. And I would kind of, you know, get into my, other platforms, um, and I try to do my due diligence as far as, you know, um, really try to follow the leads. Well, like I said, Freight Wave sometimes will give me a
Mm-hmm.
few a few leads to go by, and and oh Lord Jesus, I'm sorry that you had your what's name on. I said this. We left the coffee thing on.
It's not on. You gotta put. It only works when you put a coffee cup on it.
Yeah, I had a paper was on it. It's all good. I knew I I knew I was smelling
Look.
something. I was like, what is that? I was like, man, like they're like, what's that? I said like, you smell like like an iron or something. I was like, man, I ain't got no iron over here. So I looked at the lamp. I was like, I told you, man, Tuesday, man. Hey, it's all good. But Transportation Tuesday we gonna go on. But like I said, but yeah, but real talk though, everybody. Me and my wife really is, we're gonna push the Transportation Tuesday a lot more now. And we just want to know subjects you want to talk about, things like that. We're gonna push it a lot more. We're gonna push the things that we do, because what happens is the reason why we're gonna do that because you're gonna need all the information possible to either
Yeah.
a stay in business as a and trucking company.
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna talk about stocks and transportation. We'll just talk about a slew of things. Even talk about just like I said, when you get ready to buy these different vehicles, you know,
Equipment.
yeah, because like I said, when
Mm-hmm.
you buying equipment, every small business needs it, and so when you're trying to find a you know you know if you're going to get a part that's generic or a part that that's that is that's going to be not the original from the factory, and it'll be off brand. So just try to this platform, we're trying to make it to the point where everybody can be able to like I said, transportation, be able to try to you have someone to talk to about it. I had someone to reach out to me the other day that wanted to consult, but I don't, they was like, okay, well, I'll get back with you. Okay, that's fine. I just think that biggest thing about it, if it's not me, you need to find somebody because transportation, I mean, opportunities are here.
Well,
Uh, I,
the thing is too is what I want everyone to know. We're we're normal people,
yeah,
like most people trying to get into the transportation industry,
yeah.
and
Sorry about it. I got a
we're
drink
not
of
here
water.
we're not
Uh,
here to proclaim any um let me just put it, the disclaimer is the amount of money make is up the amount of money that you make is up to you, and it's up to what you put into it. So we're not here, promising you that you're going to be a millionaire in a year. We're not. That's not what we're here for. We're here to let you know the process, what you need to go through, how to manage it, how to sustain it, and if this is a business that you are interested in, we could possibly every scenario that you go through, we probably been through. But we're not here to sell you a dream. That's not what we're about. Because the transportation industry, like any other person who's going into entrepreneurship, you get out of it what you put into it,
yeah,
and
you
that's
sow a
just
seed. Yeah, yeah.
that's just the bottom line. But we're not sitting here going to tell you you're going to be, you know,
The millionaire, but the thing about it though, we
you
will
can
tell you,
become a millionaire, but you
yeah,
got to put in the
the
work.
work. Yeah,
You
I
got to
will
put
tell
in
you.
the
Yeah,
work,
you
and
can't
you
do
got to
because
be very strategic, and you got to have a plan, and you got to follow it, and you got to be patient.
yeah.
You just can't get in a tractor trailer, expect to go up and down the road and ball out. You can't do that. No,
Nah,
that's not.
I watched like I said, I you know I talked to a lot of guys that you know are in the container industry, and that industry by itself, you know, you spend a lot of it's just, like I said, it's absorbed by a lot of time that you spend in there,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of drivers do it because they want to stay local. I remember when I first got into business, I was doing containers, and when I tell you those trucks, those containers are heavy. You know, it's a lot of wear and tear on your equipment. So when you decide you want to go into that, you got to have the right equipment.
Right.
You know, it's like going into logging.
Mm-hmm.
You got to have the right truck to do logging. If you hauling gravel, you got to have the right dump truck. You know, if you I see guys that sometimes buy box trucks with no lift gate, and I'm like, no, and if you asked me, I would have told you unless you have a contract that your freight that you're getting is 100% dock to dock, then
Right,
I would
right.
tell you, hey, you're not gonna need a box truck.
A lift gate.
I'm sorry, lift gate. I'm sorry. Yeah, thank you. You're not gonna need a lift gate.
Mm-hmm.
But I will always tell you to side on the side of cautiousness because if that contract goes away, you
And
still
what you
got
gonna do?
you still got the box
Mm-hmm.
truck, but it don't have a lift gate.
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying? So I would automatically tell you you need a lift gate. Just like if somebody says, okay, well, hey Tori, I want to get me a cargo van. Okay, well, get your cargo van. Then I'm gonna say, but I'm gonna ask you specifically, what are you doing? And if they say, hey, well, I got, companies sometimes when me, take some pallets here and there. I said, okay, I'm going to tell you, you need to get you a Dodge ProMaster with a high top or a Sprinter with a high top. And then depending on how many pallets you're going to get, that you're going to be moving, then I'll tell you what the length need to be because uh, you can go from 1,500, 2,500 to 3,500.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the little things I'm talking about when I say consult with somebody.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you're gonna do the box truck, like I said, you want a 26-foot box truck. You want the
Mm-hmm.
lift gate. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and but when you go buy it, when you purchased that, then you're trying to add a lift gate to it. And then technically, what you did, you're gonna spend more money because the lift gates are not cheap.
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying? So it's
Yep.
kind of like I'm here, and I was just people that you see my lives, some people listening to it. Tell somebody, just say, hey, look, just get Tori a call. Yeah, I'm gonna give you 30 minutes free consultation. The first time, and you just ask the questions. But I just see people that make mistakes, man. I see it. I see guys that have broke down tractors. I'm like, you trying to pull that freight with this truck? That's like me trying to pull like me. I give you a perfect example. The newest truck I got in the in the in the fleet
Mm-hmm.
is the automatic, right?
Mm-hmm.
It, and I'm telling you, point blank, ain't no way in the HELL I will put that automatic on any damn container.
Right, right.
Not me.
Right.
Now some people might want to do it, but not me. Because the reason why is number one, the transmission between the transmission and the truck making all the decisions of how much acceleration and how much changing the gears.
Mm-hmm.
The way Georgia and the stop and go traffic and coming out of the rail system,
Mm-hmm.
ain't no way, ain't no way. And a lot of that's why I see a lot of trucks on the side of the road. They
Right. Yep.
they're automatics, broke
Well,
down.
a lot of people got hoodwinked thinking they just went on board a truck. And even with the box truck,
Yeah.
people going out, you just buying a box truck, you're not even paying attention to the fact that you got to pull up the docks. So how you going to get that freight off that truck without a lift gate onto that dock? Or how are you going to pick up this furniture from this store? How are you going to get it in the truck?
Well, see, the lift gate is for when you have ground freight.
No, yeah, but what I'm
So the
saying
dock,
is,
what I'm saying is that with the lift gate, um, you need the you don't you the ground you need the lift gate for when you want to get it up in the truck from the ground level as far as like let's say it's um, something that got to be unloaded, down ground level. That's the lift gate because, but with the dock, never have to bring the lift gate out on the dock. That's what I was just letting you know. You don't have to bring the lift gate out on the dock. But you're right about what you're saying that they have to get the right and proper equipment, and you're right. They did people did just jump in it, and and that's what I was saying because when a lot of like that's why you got more automatics out here pulling this stuff, and because most people went to school and they got the restrictions. Do you remember if you
Yeah,
go all the way
yeah.
back to my
Their
old
license.
yeah
Uh-huh.
go all the way back to some of my old YouTube pages, pictures, posts when I was talking about restrictions and things like that.
Yeah.
Well, now if only if all you can pull is an automatic, those hey, and people say, hey, Tori, man, automatic is just as strong as just strong as stick. I have told them, I just looked at them like, you know what, you ain't been in trucking long enough. That's I just look at them because you have not been in trucking long enough. If you're gonna tell me that an automatic is just as strong as a stick, there's no way. But hey, I digress. Because you got some people that's gonna be like, hey man, I'll prove it to you. The stick, the reason why it's gonna be more powerful and gonna last longer is because you are in control of it. The automatic, it starts wearing and tearing because you're not in control of it. Now they do have it where you can do it manually on it, but it's not the same. It's like it's kind of like it's like I said, I'm just a person that's been in it almost 30 years, and I just feel like transportation as a whole has you know started kind of going through where it's like all the automated stuff is now here, and like today, I wish I could have showed you, but you don't supposed to have cameras out there, but they have cranes that are like I'm talking about cranes like tall cranes, like I'm
Mm-hmm.
talking about probably the height of a bridge, right? Going up
Mm-hmm.
on a bridge, okay, in the rail yard. Some of them have humans in them, and, and then some of them don't have humans in them, right? Between the two rail yards, the they the ones that don't have the humans in them, they're sitting inside of a building driving a crane. Like and that crane is unloading rail boxes.
Wow.
Like it actually goes. it towers over us as in our truck. It's literally because we have to stand outside the truck
Mm-hmm.
in order for the crane to do what it's got to do. That crane takes those boxes off that chassis, or excuse me, or it puts it on the chassis.
Mm-hmm.
But what was amazing to me was the ones that are automated.
Yeah.
That somebody doing it like a drone.
Yeah.
That actually, and I'm saying to myself, and I was asking my partner Perry, I said, hey man, I said, man, ain't nobody inside that crane. He like, nah. And look, it's six of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're moving like big Tonka truck robots.
Like the cranes are robots.
Yeah, and the crane is, but like I said, but what that does, what I was talking about, them, cutting back on different things and doing a lot with the rail and all that stuff. A lot of those things have parts, so they'll start laying people off.
Yeah.
They got to buy parts for that equipment, especially if that equipment is some of the parts come from overseas. And then, like I said, even with the trains, the engines, wherever those things are tariffs. And so, just like um, how we do the warehousing part. Okay, Canada saying they putting we get like I think over 50% of our lumber from Canada, and and, and like when we want to buy what up here, like when we want to buy you know plywood to do something in the warehouse to fix up the warehouse, or if we shipping something, plywood is like $65 a sheet.
Mm-hmm.
And you imagine if you need 10, that's $650. Now you add a tariff tax on top of that, if it's $65 now for a sheet of plywood. What up, Perry? And so anyway, the point is that okay, but back in the day, a sheet of plywood used to be somewhere around $40.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So you start adding tariff taxes in at 25% tariff tax,
Mm-hmm.
that makes everything that much more expensive. That's what I'm saying. Like, so any projects or like you're gonna see building material, people building houses. Like, okay, now guess what? So you're gonna need, trucks to move that building material. But if it's a tariff tax on it, some customers might say, okay, well, we're gonna try to get everything all on one truck, and then that's gonna be all the shipment we're gonna ship. Guess what? That's a person's job, or and then when you do the tariff tax, think about what truck drivers made. You go back in 2019, truck drivers made a certain amount. They didn't make as high as they make now. Truck drivers in 2019, I think the average, if you started with a job, you was making what, 18, $19 an hour.
Right.
Pre-COVID, I'm sorry, post-COVID, truck drivers are now making 25, 28, $30 an hour.
Yes.
Okay, so with all that cost in there, plus the price of fuel is up now, because like I said, we get a lot of petroleum and things from outside the country. But the point is, and you add that amount of money that people make, it's hard to, especially with small businesses, and so that's how. So when people say, okay, the tariff tax, it affects across the board.
Yes.
And then even if you're doing warehousing, it affects because if you want to do improvement projects,
Yes.
or if because sometimes you have to ship, like when we ship containers. Remember we shipping containers, we had to buy those bags, the bags that pump up inside the
Yep.
shipping the container.
I
We had to
remember.
buy. We had to buy 2x4s. 2x4s
Mm-hmm.
are up now because we get our lumber from Canada.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying, when we shipping containers, that's what I'm telling. So transportation is definitely affected pretty much the most.
Across the board.
Yeah, and then when you pass it on to the consumers, that's where they pass it on at. They pass it on because they know that trucking price is going to be high, and because a lot of times with people, well, with shippers, the most expensive part of their part. I mean, there's several parts to their day-to-day operation, and two of them, the main things that's the most expensive is the shipping costs, number one, and that's the transportation cost, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and then number two is labor costs. You
Mm-hmm.
see what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
I think I read an article somewhere where I think a gentleman said that I'm not gonna bring up the store's name because on this platform I'm not gonna do that. But they're saying that they rather you, like, let's say if I ship you something wrong, right?
Mm-hmm.
They rather you keep it versus me getting you to ship it back to me. Me getting you, giving you a little, thing to ship it back to me, and then ship the product back out to you again.
Replacement. Yeah.
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 They rather
Mm-hmm.
you. They don't even want
They rather you just
the
keep it.
return. They don't even
Yeah.
want the return. They rather
Right.
keep it, and they'll
Mm-hmm.
ship it again because guess what? Now they can charge you to ship it, but if they
Exactly.
mess your order up
Yeah.
and they got to ship it back, they
Yeah.
got to pay for that. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So they
Mm-hmm.
rather they rather they rather say, "I'm now the shipping costs," and you're seeing that across the board. So transportation, yeah. And so my point is that with everybody on this platform, and me and my wife sitting on here, we have these conversations because these are things we deal with every day. We're just sharing some of our notes with you. We're just sharing what we want to see you have family member, friends that to get in the transportation. It's just like anything else. I know this. I know this gentleman growing up, and I know it had to be hard for them, especially with tough times right now. Okay, think about black brick masons back in the day. How did businesses back in the day get through it? And I know it was way tougher because they don't have technology. They didn't have the technology we have. You know what I'm saying? So the point I'm getting at, how did they get through it? And these were small black farmers, black seamstress. See, I think the problem with what's going on now, and this is just my humble opinion, everybody. I'm not trying to come here and I'm not lecturing. This is that one thing I'm not doing. I'm not lecturing. I'm putting it out there as a question. Today, do you think you feel entitled? Do you think you're feeling entitled that okay, it should be like this? Well, yeah, it should to a degree, but you got to put in the work, and then but you got to have faith first, and then you got to put in the work. The thing about it is that your faith and putting in the work, they have to kind of they have to match. It
Yeah.
has to be the right in your energy.
Mm-hmm.
That's why when I see, like I said, and I'm gonna say this no matter what. When I can, me personally, and I'm not saying to boasting or bragging or anything, but if somebody said they've been to 21 years, I think they know what they're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
In this industry, I've been in this industry over 28 years as far as in the industry.
Mm-hmm.
21 of it has been me self-employed, you
Mm-hmm.
know. But how much has changed during that 21 years? I'm sorry, 30 years and 21 years being employed. I mean, self-employed. It has changed drastically. Like I'm literally going. When I tell you, my man. Shouts out to my man Perry. He's on here with me. Thank you, man, for he's training me right now. I started out the company doing rail containers, right? That's 21 years ago. 21 years later,
Here
oh
we
my
are.
God, man,
Right.
I'm using apps like crazy.
Yeah.
Like you got to do different apps to go in these locations. The
Yeah.
technology
Oh,
is
you need this
serious.
phone, my
Oh,
brother.
man, there you go, man. Watch out, man. Hey, my phone just fine, man. My phone just fine. Hey, man,
Need a
look.
phone for all
Hey,
these new apps.
hey, everybody. Shouts out to the. Hey, look. I'm gonna tell everybody. I'm gonna tell you right now. Shouts out to Apple 6. That's what I got. I got an
Man,
Apple
you
6 phone, but
tripping,
hey,
tripping.
I,
I
look.
need you to come. I need you to step into 2025
Hey, man.
with a new phone with all these new apps you
Man,
got to use.
when somebody told me to my dang, Tori, your phone 10 years out of date, bruh.
You
Like,
10 years behind. They finna have the 16 come out, man.
that's what I said. Hey, I'm straight though. I'm straight. First I was like, man, it ain't but 8. Then I had to
Matter
look
of fact,
back.
the
That,
16 is out.
that,
It's out. Yeah, you can get a 16 now.
hey man, it gonna be too much tariff costs. I'm good. I don't even want to do all that. That's too much. They gonna have a tariff tax on them. I'm good. I may not even be able to get my little Lucky Charm app on there. I need that app. And I ain't gonna call no names. So everybody know what that app is. Pray to hope it don't go away. I mean, it's my little. But anyway, so it's like that's what my man Perry said. Laugh out loud. Hey, I mean, cause I asked him. Like we was on the tablet. Maybe we use a tablet and the phone.
See, you need
No,
to
but
upgrade. You need
no,
some
no,
upgrades.
no, no. The phones is fine. I mean, it's not a difference in the phone. I'm just saying that the tablet in the tablet is 21 years ago. There was no tablet. It was a piece of paper. Cause I was telling Perry that today. We went into the customer. The customer was like, "Hey man, hey man, we gonna." My boss said we're gonna stop printing these papers. Y'all gotta bring the paper with you. And Perry like, "Hey man, hey, what you want me to do, man? Hey, I'm just." He like T man. I'm gonna use it. He said I'm gonna use technology, which he's right. But a lot of these customers do want paper.
But
Even
now
though
you
everything is
know
digitized.
they got these portable printers.
Printers, yeah, yeah, yeah. But Perry already told me like, man, I ain't trying to do all that paper stuff. But I get it, cause I digress. But I know me, I'm gonna have to try to print it out. But like I said, I understand where he's coming from.
Mhm.
But the point is that technology, some people still want to steal with the paper, but technology has adjusted in my 21 years, and I started the company
Mhm.
doing rail boxes. But babe, those if you see them robotic cranes, and one day I'll take you in there with me as I'm doing it. Because like I said, they don't really want you filming that. I don't want to, you know, place that
Right.
on my platform. You know what I'm saying? Because
Hmm.
it's security situations. But anyway, um, it's amazing to see. And and look, when I tell you, let me tell you, just to kind of go into depth of it. You know how Braylon be playing with her trucks, and we can take it and you take the little man out, put the little man in like that. You know what I'm saying? Or you can take the little things and stick them together, the trucks and stuff. The trailer.
Yeah.
Okay, imagine. And I was telling Perry this today because I was like, dude, there's no way. Because like you have to stand outside the truck, right? Because the box is being picked up and brought over to the chassis, right? And so as it's coming over and it's coming out the sky, you're looking like, dude, and you looking at it as if that box is light, bro. That's a whole container. That's a whole container filled with like 40 some thousand pounds. And the point is, like, and when it's picked up, it's like like feather. When it comes down, it comes down. Look like it's coming down fast. Then it stops, right? And then all of a sudden, it's put on the chassis. That chassis is about like that. It's put on that chassis, and the guy here turn it like this and turn it like this, and he'll let it down, and then he'll shake it, and then he'll unclamp. This dude not even in the truck. This man is doing this with a remote in another building. That's the point I'm trying to say. That
Mm-hmm.
21 years ago, it's not that they didn't have those cranes. They've always had those cranes to take the things off the train or put it on the train. But it's the fact is that they're so advanced now that somebody can do it with a remote from a
Yeah.
whole nother building.
Yeah.
That's all I'm getting at. I'm just trying to kind of get everybody to understand and grasp that. Hey, when they talk about the automated stuff that's coming, the trucks that are moving automatic, like, they got trucks that they're trying to do like that. That's where
Mm-hmm.
that these trucks are automatic. That it's somebody actually driving that truck.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing about that, inside that rail, that container, I mean that crane is actually, how can I say it? It's kind of, how can I say it? You can't get close to it. I mean you can get close to it, but it's still kind of the bigger wheels of it. It's
Mm-hmm.
like it's kind of like, it's still kind of confined, kind of sort of, okay?
Mm-hmm.
but it but it's confined. So when you start putting something on the road, that's why I tell everybody, I'm not saying it's not going to happen, but it's not confined. That's going to be scary. So with all that said, they're doing a lot of things. So now when you get into these tariff tax and things like that, your biggest cost is what? Labor. So you deal in technology, you can eat that tariff
Mm-hmm.
costs, things like that. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so yeah. So anyway, like I said, just everybody, just apologize about getting on here late. Had a you know technical problems. Like I said, but I will promise y'all this. Me and my wife, we see everybody. We see the ones asking the questions. We just want to be a beacon of hope. That's all we want to be. We're not here to, but we want to consult with you. Of course, I would love to consult with you. I want to see you do it right. But like I said, buying a box truck without the lift gate. Okay, hey, um, buying buying an automatic trying to pull containers. Hey, okay, but I can promise you, cutting corners. I had the guy he had put the brakes on for me. He said, hey man, he good guy. I'm not gonna call his name, but he said, hey man, I told him, I said, well, I don't cut corners, man. He said, I'm glad to hear that as a mechanic. He said, when you don't cut corners, I can work with you. Mike used to tell me that too. And he's like, Tori, because you don't cut corners. Safety is
Yeah.
everything. And when you buying equipment and you trying to do something, please stop buying based off, okay, I don't know if I want to consult with anybody, or I got to spend some money for consultation. Um, hey man, what you want me to tell you?
Because it's an investment.
Yeah,
And
that's
they're
what I'm
not
about.
cheap.
Yeah, yeah,
So you might want to you might want to speak to somebody who knows a little bit about buying a piece of equipment
yeah,
of that
yeah,
magnitude.
yeah.
those things ain't cheap. And when they break down, it's costly.
Exactly.
So
And just like what I told somebody the other day, you go into a freezer, like they got freezer unit trailers, the freezer, the those reefer
yeah,
units, they're about to become more expensive because a lot of the refrigerated, you know, engines that go in there, a lot of that stuff is not made. Some of them parts are not made in America.
yeah,
See, it's little, and guess what? So if that person that ships on that container, I mean on that trailer, and they got to buy parts, they're gonna pass that cost to that shipper, and that shipper say, okay, we're gonna pass that off to the consumer. So now you about to really see, remember I was telling you about now I got to go adjust situations because you got people mortgages going up based off of insurance and taxes.
yeah, yeah.
You understand? So it's like so now and it's imperative that you don't make bad decisions if you want to go into this business. And if you are wanting to expand your business,
Hmm.
get a consultant. You get opportunity. There's things that 20 something years, 21, reach out to us. But like I said, but look, all right, babe, so question, what you got going on, man?
Restocking.
Yo, restocking bay. Okay, okay.
That's it.
Everybody, Crawford, Crawford Natural, man, we definitely need you. Black owned business. My wife puts a great product out. I mean, when I tell you, my beard definitely is growing. The only difference I ain't done with my beard, like everybody else, they be dyeing their beards. This is all natural, but you know what I'm saying, all natural. And it's, I try to keep it nice and
Man,
shiny.
crazy.
Huh?
Nothing.
Yeah. So I'm not doing the dye, man. You got to hold it down with the gray, man. You got to hold it down with the gray. My mom always talk about that. She be like, "Boy, you got more gray hair than your mama." I was like, "Well, it's kind of like a reason why, but not gonna get into all that because I'm not gonna dye my hair." So,
Hmm.
but I think, but the
Hmm.
product has, but like I said, um, and the lotion, she has a men's lotion. She has the shape, the butter. Um,
I have men's beard oil, men's beard balm. I have men's body cream. I have men's shea butter at shop.crawfordnaturals.com.
I come thinking.
Check us out.
And plug it up on the what's name base so I can see
Check
it. So
us out
yeah.
at.
hmm So everybody, please, support. Reason why, like I said, and also too, like I said, we're gonna be doing some things in the future that's gonna bring, and hopefully, get more people on the platform with us. But the main thing we're gonna be talking about is gonna be transportation. Um, and like I said, small businesses, you name it. We just
I
want to be
don't
able
have
to support.
deodorant. I don't make deodorant yet. I have not ventured over into deodorant.
the the rest of the deodorant. Hey man, we do have we have the soaps, we have the shea butter, we have the lotion,
Yeah, we got mint soap. I forgot to mention
we
that.
got
I got bar soap as well.
yeah, but we got the smell goods for the ladies. She got the turmeric scrub, we got the
Yeah.
beard balm, I
Yeah.
mean you name it, the beard oil. See, Darrell, he doesn't really wear a beard, but like he said, but Darrell the soap, and then also too, like she has it's dead sea salt. It's good for men too. It can use the
It's
scrub.
soap the skin.
Yeah, so when you have like when you get shaved and stuff,
So you don't
either that
have those
is
ingrown hairs in your
mm,
beard.
mm,
And it keeps you from getting ingrown hairs from when you go to the barbershop. And I'm about to. Do you know they're trying to use that as a reason to not allow you into the military
because of bumps.
if you have an ingrown hair problem? So that's
Yeah,
basically
well,
geared towards black men. That's the Marines,
well,
and it's geared towards black men. So if you have ingrown hair issues,
yeah.
they're not going to allow you into the
Well,
Marines.
you know what? um, they
That's
used to
jacked up.
remember. Well, you remember they did that with if you had what you call it what you call it with your feet
With what? Gout?
athletic feet, athletic. When you had the
Feet.
yeah athletic feet, foot. What was it? What was it? Athletic feet.
Athletics feet.
Yeah.
Yes.
So they had if they knew you had any of that, they wouldn't let you in either. Yeah,
But
it's
anymore,
because what happened, you
Harris
got
has nothing to do with your ability to perform as a Marine in the military.
I know, but what happens is that trust me, like you said, skincare is everything.
Yes, it
My
is.
my mom, and I know everybody. I'm not trying to get off subject. We still on talking about tear tag, but my mom, I remember my mom always said, Tori, take care of your teeth, your hands, your nails, take care of your feet. Like she made us wear sandals during the summer. Shouts out to my mom. Like I used to be like, Mom, I gotta wear sandals. She's like, because you need your feet to breathe. Because you always, we did the same thing with our kids. You know what I'm saying? We made sure they took care of their feet. And the point I'm getting at is that because it's easy to get, an athletic foot. You have athletic, it's athletic foot, right?
Feet.
And feet. I'm sorry, and have those problems. You know, some guys don't understand. Then the same thing with like when you shaving, man. You got to realize something that you you're you're removing hair. So when you remove the hair, you have to make sure that you remove it and you have. That's why in the military they taught you how to shave. Remember, they taught those guys how to shave. So yeah, but a lot of these young men of color, they don't know how to shave. Who teaches them how to shave? You see what I'm saying? Exactly. So that's what. So I'm not saying I'm condoning it or anything. I'm just basically saying that grooming is everything. And you was talking about me. You was
A lot
talking.
of people don't know how to do the
Yeah, me.
basics.
You was talking about the when we saw in sports how everybody hair looks now. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So
Yes.
that's all I'm
Yeah.
saying. So I'm not surprised they come in in a different way. But yeah. But anyway, all right, guys, we
Yeah.
get ready to close.
Shop.crawfordnationals.com, y'all.
Okay, yeah. So anyway, I'm getting ready to close up. But like I said, um, Transportation Tuesday. This is our platform. You're gonna start seeing some things change a little bit. We're working on that, so that way you can kind of, see that, we'll be able to, be able to do things in a manner that's gonna probably. It's time. We've been talking to y'all now for what, 2 years now. And also too, if you went and tried to purchase ebook recently or anything. It was some things going on with the site, but we got everything squared away now. But just letting everybody know,
Yeah, we had
hey,
some hiccups, but
yeah,
they're. Hmm.
yeah. So anyway, if and like I said, it'll be a great gift for somebody, birthday gift. They in transportation, but and also too, like I said, I remember I did my first platform and I talked about. Remember I talked about um, when you go to truck driving school, you know, versus manual versus,
Automatic.
automatic. Please, let's get back into that. If you have somebody that want to go to truck driving school, please call me. Get in touch with me. I want to, be able to talk to you because I'm seeing so much of that going on now, and um, things of that nature. But anyway, everybody, I want to say thank you for the live. Thank you for getting on here. As
Welcome
usual, we're going to continue to push it. Everybody, want to say thank you, Darrell, um,
for joining.
Carrie, Trina, thank y'all, and everybody else watching. Please, go to CLAlogistics.com and go to our website.
Crawford
You know,
Logistics and
yeah,
Associates.com.
yeah, please. And please also too go to our YouTube page and subscribe,
And
hit the
YouTube
subscribe
channel.
button, please, because we would love to. We want to get our subscription up. I mean subscribes up. And the thing about me, I'm trying to get used to this technology, man. Please, so when I get tongue twisted, it's only because still trying to get used to the terminology and everything. But please try to support. We need your support because when we get the subscribes, and then also too, please like the video, so that stuff helps. So please reach out. And I mean, please help us out in that manner to help. We really need your support so we can get the word out. But here, and like I said, I always tell everybody, man, another day above ground is a good day. Peace out, everybody. All right, talk to you in a minute. Peace.